Hello students, in this session we'll see about the analysis of portal frame, rectangular portal frame by using slope deflection method. So in the previous sessions we learned about the analysis of continuous beam by slope deflection method, and the same thing or the same concept we are going to apply for the portal frame. So, sway analysis of rigid jointed rectangular portal frame. There are two types of frames basically. First one is sway and another ones are non-sway. Sway or non-sway means moving or non-moving type. Okay. So consider this frame. This frame is, suppose the frames are symmetrical, which are equally loaded from both the ends. Okay, that type of frames are uh, given for our syllabus. Okay, so this is a given frame. This is and the force P is applied at a particular distance A. Then we will release that frame. Means what we are going to do here, we are going to separate each part of the frame. That is two. We are going to separate these two columns. Then this one beam and this another part of beam. Okay, and then we are going to apply the movements at the joints. Okay, so there are movements at the joints, or why the movements are there, because to maintain the equilibrium. Okay, so there are movements at the joint, and this is the diagram of release frame. So for equilibrium of frame, or to maintain the equilibrium, there is a summation of movement at joint B and at joint C is equals to 0. Okay, so here we are going to sum up all the equations or all the movements which are meeting at joint B and at joint C is equals to 0. Okay, then joint equilibrium conditions are not sufficient if the number of unknown displacement are more, then shear equilibrium of structure or shear force equilibrium conditions are considered for slope deflection equations. Okay, so that given equilibrium conditions are not sufficient, that's why we are going to use equilibrium conditions along with the shear equilibrium of a structure. Okay, so shear equilibrium equations are helpful for analysis of the portal frame. So these are some uh, given frames, or these are some frames which with a uh, different distance or different height of column. Okay, the same concept is there, that we are going to release that frame. We are going to separate each member of the frame, and then we are going to apply the movements which are there at the joints. Okay, we'll start with actual numerical, and which will get a clear view of what is the how the analysis of portal frames is done. Okay, so this is a question taken from question paper. Analyze the portal frame using slope deflection method, and this is the given frame. Okay, this is a symmetrical frame and non-sway frame. Okay, then the same steps are here also. We are going to follow the same steps that we are uh, following in the analysis of beams. Okay, the first step is finding out the kinematic indeterminacy, how much unknowns are there, or how much unknown rotation and how much unknown deflections are there. So at joint A and at joint D, theta A and theta D is equals to 0 because of fixity. Then at joint B and at joint C, there is a unknown displacement, or there is a some amount of displacement which will takes place. Okay, so that our dki of the structure is 2. Then finding fixed end movement. So consider this A to B and C to this uh, column or part of the portal frame. So there is a no any externally applied load, as you can see. Okay, the load is only at the part BC of the member. Okay, so that's why, because there is no any external load or no any external movement is given, so that's why we cannot found the movement or movements or fixed end moments at AB and CD span is equals to 0, okay, because of no load. Then there is a UDL of 10 kilonewton per meter for the span of 4 meter, and we can find out the movements or fixed end movements at BC and CB because of this UDL as WL square by 12. Okay, we are going to consider anti-clockwise positive and clockwise negative. That's why these sign conventions are plus and minus. And then moving towards the next step, slope deflection equation. So for member AB, we are going to apply the slope deflection equation. MAB is equals to FEM plus 2EI by L in bracket 2 theta A plus theta B minus 3 delta by L. As given, there is no any displacement or no any sinking or no any deflection of the beam or column is given. That's why this sinking term will get 0. Then theta A is 0 because of fixity. So, and FEM AB, fixed end movement at AB is also 0 because there is no any load. Okay, so what remains is 2EI by 3 into theta B. This is equation 1. Similar is the case for MB to A. FEMB is 0, theta A is 0, then 3 delta by L value is 0. So we'll get this value. Then moving towards BC span of the member, there is a movement because of UDL, that is FEMBC plus 2EI by L plus 2 theta C, 2 theta B plus theta C minus 3 delta by L. 3 delta by L 0, theta B and theta C are the unknowns which we are interested in finding out. So we'll get this equation. Similarly for CB, we'll get one equation. So these are 3 and 4 equations for member BC. Then moving towards the member CD, also because there is no any load in the that particular column CD, so that's why FM CD is 0, delta D is 0, theta D, rotation at D is 0, deflection at particular D is 0, so that's why we'll get one this remaining term as equation number 5, and we'll get similarly MDC, this equation number 6. Then next step is solving the unknowns or solving the equilibrium by using equilibrium condition at joint D, summation of movement is equals to 0, joint B. So MBA plus MBC is equals to 0. So we are going to add up the two and 3 equations and we'll get one equation in terms of theta B and theta C unknown values. Okay, and we can see here this is a given frame is symmetrical about the axis, both the axis. So that's why theta B is equals to minus theta C. So you can see here this deflection of a beam at joint B is in clockwise direction. Okay, and at C it is in anti-clockwise direction. So that means both the values are equals but in opposite nature. Okay, so that's why we will substitute here one particular value. So we will replace theta C with a minus theta B. Okay, so we'll get this another equation, and by solving easily there is we are replacing theta C with theta B. So we'll have only one unknown in this equation, theta B, and we'll get the value of theta B and also the value of theta C equal and opposite nature. And then finding out the end moment, now we'll substitute these values theta B and theta C in equation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1 to 6. Then we'll get the values of final movements. Okay, so these are the values of final movements. Okay, simple. Then last step is finding out the SFD and BMD and elastic curve. Okay, now we'll keep it very easy and keep it very simplest way. for finding for drawing the shear force and bending moment diagram, do uh, we will separate each part of the given structure or given frame. We'll separate two columns and we'll separate one beam, and then we'll going to apply this uh, uh, end movements that we are calculated here. Okay, these are the end movements which we have shown, and we can find out the shear force or reactions at the supports by given load, and by using that particular moment values. Okay, we'll consider summation of forces at summation of movement at point A is 0 or point B is 0. Then we'll add up the all unknown values. We'll take the moment of all the forces about that particular B joint, and we'll get the value of RC. In that particular ways, we'll find out all the values of reactions at the support. Okay, then we will find out the free body. This is the free body of member. Okay, and this is free body diagram of structure. Okay, then moving towards the shear force diagram. So we have shear force. We have calculated shear force as 20 kilonewton, 20, 20, 20. Okay, so we have this value of 20 kilonewton, and because of that UDL, also the value of the shear force is also 20. So this is the shear force diagram. Then moving towards the bending moment diagram, we'll draw the bending moment diagram by principle of superposition, and we have only one UDL which is provided on the beam. There is no any load on these vertical columns. Okay, so that's why we'll I put all the values of final movements that we have solved simultaneously. So we'll put those values according to their sign. Okay, so this is the bending moment diagram for column, and moving for bending moment diagram of beam, there is a UDL, so that's why we'll calculate the maximum bending moment as a WL square by 8. So this is the 20 is the value of bending moment because of the externally applied load, and this is 9.68. 9.68 is the value because of the final movements. Okay, so this is the bending moment by principle of superposition. It is very simple. Then elastic curve. So what we are doing in elastic curve, we are going to uh, we are we have to think like that, how the particular beam will deflect because of the elasticity, or what will be the elastic effect on that particular beam. Okay, so that's the elastic curve diagram, and it looks like this. Okay, so we'll stop here. If you have any queries or any doubts related to this content or this analysis of portal frame, then you can message me in the comment box. Okay, thank you.